All right, so let's talk about the reality of where most marketers are today. And here's Nancy Kostopoulos, one of our customers from the American Marketing Association, is CMO. And she backed up what our study data suggests, which is not many companies are measuring very well what they're doing, and marketers need to get serious about metrics. And it's hard to improve your marketing activities if you don't have detailed tracking and measurement. Now, we think in terms of what the average response levels are for traditional direct response marketing. The industry average hovers at about 1.3% response levels. Now, I want you to pay real close attention to these data points because some vertical markets like not-for-profit, financial services, real estate, automotive, and educational, they're performing at about a 0.5% response level. So again, it's difficult to drive your company results successfully when we have low response levels. Now, the second most important discussion after we see how many people responded to our marketing is what's our conversion level? How many leads actually resulted in revenue for the company as a result of our marketing effort? And B2B marketers state that sales closes less than 4% of all marketing-generated leads. So we have a very low response level, and we have a low conversion level, which makes your job impossible. It's impossible to look like a rock star with these kind of conversions. And the reason for this is what we call the marketing clutter phenomenon. It's only getting worse. Daily, we encounter 2,904 media messages. We may remember 52 of them, but 4 of them we'll positively remember. And the 4 that we typically remember are the more personal, relevant, and connected with us using the media that we find most often and is our preference. Now, when we look at cross-media, the results being achieved by the leading marketers that are using cross-media, what I've been illustrating this morning, are outstripping those of traditional static approaches by an average of 56 to 275% improvement. Now think about it for a minute. If you had a 200% improvement in your lead response levels, that would give you a greater number of sales opportunities for the sales team to convert to revenue. And when you move that bar up on conversions and response levels of interested parties, regardless if it's a customer base or new customer acquisition, you're bound to generate improved results in your revenue stream. And in fact, the study data shows that a well-executed cross-media marketing campaign will generate a sales lift of 7 to 34% versus that less than 4% we saw from traditional marketing. And the reason for the range, it depends on that campaign, the attributes of your database, the offer, the creative, and that integrated, which marketing touches were used, whether or not you're in the 7%, which is still doubling what the industry average is, or you're off the charts at 34%. So you can control your destiny. And now I'm going to show you a little-known fact in today's real-time world. You think about our lives today. We're always connected. We're always on. Most of us will respond to or look at our mobile phone within 4 seconds of a text or a phone call or a message. And so we are always on and connected. And it's the same for your consumers and your target audience. And so the reality is that in today's always connected world, people want information now. And if you respond to a lead in 5 minutes versus waiting 25 additional minutes to 30 minutes, you're 100 times more likely to speak to that prospect or that customer who raised their hand. If you call a lead in 5 minutes versus 30 minutes, you're 21 times more likely actually speaking to the customer and moving that sale to the next step. So you can control your destiny with this integrated marketing approach. Now, the study data shows that the reason for this significant lift, 100 times the opportunity to qualify your prospects, the reason for this is when someone responds to a lead in an integrated form, web form, they're typically on their computer. They're not on the phone, so they're available if you call right now. We call this presence. And people are responding in this manner because they have a higher interest or need. We want things now. If you wait, that interest and need wanes. Immediacy of response hits the respondent at their highest point of interest or need, and that's when you want to be talking to your prospects. Now, having said that, there's the wow factor. And frankly, we respond to all of our leads in 5 minutes or less. So I can tell you from a personal level, this is a God's truth. And this was a Marketing Sherpa MIT study. The wow effect does really impact your customers and prospects. When a sales professional responds to a lead in 5 minutes or less and says, hey, Joe, I see you just visited your personalized site and you were interested in A and B. I wanted to reach out to you while it was still fresh in your mind to continue the conversation and see if I could be a resource for any other information that you need right now. They're blown away. The wow factor is in play. They're like, you got to be kidding me. I just left that site. Well, we know you're interested. We want to continue the conversation while it's fresh in your mind, and we want to be a resource for you. They're impressed. They feel like this is a company that's very customer-focused, and they also feel that this is the type of company that if I work with them, they're going to be exceptional from a customer support, customer response standpoint. First impressions continue to have strong or build strong relationships long-term. And then when I interview presidents of the companies that join us, and I say, why MindFire? One of the first questions I hear, one first response I hear is, you know what, from the very first step, you guys responded professionally. Your sales professional called us in 5 minutes or less. It really impressed us, and every touch since then has been highly professional. It's clear you're a customer-focused organization. So this, going back to this slide here, imagine if you could empower your sales team and say, I'm going to give you 100 times the probability that you can speak to prospects. I'm going to give you 21 times improvement that every time a person raises their hand, their interest is there in our solution or our service, that you're going to have the ability, you're going to be 21 times more effective to actually speak to them and move the sale next step. So don't mess it up. I'm positioning you for success. That's what this does for you. All right. Now, when we think in terms of the other key consideration for what makes marketing so difficult in today's marketing clutter world, there's more relevant channels that we're all connected. In fact, in the United States, everybody on this call today is available on average 7.2 marketing channels. You have a landline phone, you have a mobile phone, it counts as 2, both voice and text, Skype, Facebook, Twitter, personal and business email, membership and online forums, and a home address for traditional mail. So when you add all those up, it's actually 10 response channels that were available for marketing activities. 10 response channels. Heck, it used to be, we had a telephone and direct mail. Now we've got 10 response channels, and the question is, which of your prospects and customers prefer one versus the other? And the clearer we understand that, and the more we leverage the 3, 4, 5 marketing touches across their preferred marketing response channels, the higher level of response level you'll achieve. And to further complicate that, in addition to the response channels for personal media, we've got this mass media beast that we have to make sure that we optimize and maximize as well. So again, through an integrated approach, working with J.D. Young, we can help you demystify this area and make sure that every marketing dollar you spend will optimize and maximize the right channels. All right, so now let's talk about this super growth area of mobile marketing. You may have heard about QR codes. It's a quick response code, and each, whether it's a personalized QR code or a mass QR code that goes on mass media, if you have a smartphone that can go on the internet and take a picture, then you can take a picture of this after you've downloaded a free QR code reader for your phone, and they're available for each make and model. And after we've downloaded that, we can then respond to these wonderful mobile touches. Let me show you a couple of good examples. Many untrained professionals are slapping QR codes on mass media and mail and sending folks to their corporate website. And that's error number 1. You want to have high-value touches that serves up high-value information when folks respond. And there are best practice methodologies for mobile. Sending someone to the corporate website is fatically, that is a horrible step, and we saw 85% of folks who get the corporate website abandon it. Here's a good example. The holidays are coming up again, and some of us could be having parties with more people coming by, as well as we might be serving some food. We're not sure which wine to pair it with. Visit this smart code. it drives you to a site where it'll answer those questions. How many bottles of wine do I need? And I'm serving this food. What would be best wine you recommend to pair it with? That's a good mobile use case. And oh, by the way, you can download a coupon for a quantity purchase. So everybody wins. You win with good information, and they win with new purchases. Macy's Backstage Pass. This area you've seen on TV, you've seen in magazines. You respond to the QR code, and it drives you to a site where you can get beauty secrets, fashion advice for men and women, insider tips, and special opportunities. If you've been in Best Buy or Home Depot and you're getting ready to purchase a product and you want to see what other folks that have purchased the product before you have said about it, just visit that smart code, and it's going to give you the ratings and what folks thought about it. So it's not just you trying to figure out what the best purchase is going to be for you. And of course, Martha Stewart at the Home Depot, we can get her helpful hints as well as savings by visiting the smart code. These are powerful tools for driving new folks into the store with information if they just want education, I'm just learning now, or a coupon for purchase. Big billboard in New York for Calvin Klein jeans, and again, a very successful campaign. Even home sales, people, those flyers that are typically on the house that are always empty, now you can take a picture of a QR code and you can actually take a tour of the home virtually to decide if that should be on your short list of homes to consider. And this is actually one of the best use cases we've seen. We don't have time for it today, but actually, while you're waiting for a subway in Korea, one of the most busy societies in the world, they hate shopping because it's always crowded. They don't have time for it. So while you're in the train station, there's a billboard, floor to ceiling. You can go ahead and shop. It looks just like the supermarket store. You can go ahead and shop for your groceries while waiting for the subway, pay for them through your phone, and the groceries show up at your doorstep at 7:30 at night. The company that launched this, Home Plus, has gone from number 6 to number 1 in 6 months. Again, mobile everywhere. Walking down the street, maybe there's a product or service you're interested in, take a picture of the QR code, and there's a special offer waiting for you. This is one of my personal favorites. You know how it is when we're visiting a new city and we're not sure about this restaurant, whether or not it will meet our needs. So we typically look at the menu in the window and we decide whether the pricing's right or the food offering is going to meet our needs. Well, now with the smartphone, you'll get the specials of the day, the menu, and you can click on a Yelp link and you can see what the last 25 diners said about their experience there. So not only do you get to see the pricing and the menu and the specials today, you can see what other diners said about it so you can have comfort when you walk in the door. This is marketing today, and it's all possible.